bit aside, I think that naming the head coaching position is wildly stupid.
Of course it's stupid, but it's funny. Wake me up before you go. It's time for episode number 62 of the Promo UpFront podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Bill Petrie. With me, as always, the executive assistant of Expo, the newbie of the naming rights in college football, the one and only Dr. Kirby Hasseman. Kirby, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Just trying to keep up. I've got news coming soon on our end about hiring. We've got a new employee coming. I'm excited about that. There's lots of good things happening and just trying to keep all the plates spinning. So I'm doing pretty well. How about you, bud?
I'm doing great. Trying to just kind of muddle through. I'm heading out for a guys weekend this weekend to Denver with my college roommates. It's something we've done just about every year for the last 25 years or so. And we're going to Denver, Colorado to see the mighty Texas A&M Aggies play the Colorado Buffaloes at Mile High Stadium. So that ought to be a good time. And as I'm preparing for that, just trying to navigate all the weird political stuff that's going on, because I don't want to step on a soapbox for that. But I'll tell you what, there is a soapbox I'd like to step on, Kirby. And if you don't mind, I'd like to share that with you.
I would love to hear this.
We've all stepped on soapboxes, but again, we're not talking political soapboxes here. No, if you haven't, it's high time you do. The soapbox we're talking about has extracted the most effective and productive elements of the in-person hosted buying event format and created a custom online platform that offers a streamlined and improved experience for distributors virtually. Yes, that's right. We're talking about our pals, Soapbox Marketing Communications. Now, if you're not familiar with Soapbox, let me run it down a little bit for you. First of all, it's owned by two fabulous friends of ours, and Dan Piggott and Brett Schaefer, just two great guys. You've seen all the accolades, I'm sure, all over the internet from suppliers and distributors about how productive Soapbox meetings are. So maybe is it time, Mr. and Mrs. Distributor? Is it time to see if you qualify? Kirby and I say, well, heck yes, it is. Why? Well, thanks for asking. It's super manageable. It's 2 hours of your time once a month, and you get 4 weeks advance notice so you can really fit it into your schedule. It's convenient. You can join from your car, your train, your home office, your backyard, your front yard, your swimming pool, your jacuzzi, your spa.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter. It's simple. Easiest virtual platform to navigate in the industry. It's conversational. Their one-on-one meetings are focused on your specific account base. Great supplier mix from top 40 suppliers to hidden gems. You can expand your network and create relationships. And best part for you, distributor, just like the beer in Animal House, as Mr. Blutarski would say, don't cost nothing. That's right. It's free. Kirby, I know you are a Soapbox distributor. Give us a 26-second example of why it's been so effective for you.
What I love about it is that they've scheduled these meetings. So you have back-to-back meetings, 4 in a row. You mentioned it. 2 hours really is manageable, and they schedule them about 20 minutes at a time. So in between each one, you actually get 10 minutes to grab a drink, go to the bathroom, check your email. I find that I'm getting a ton of value in a short period of time, and it doesn't hijack my whole day. And so you're right. I do get to see different suppliers that I'd not done business with before. And the technology is incredibly easy to use. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, absolutely. And way to hit that 26-second mark, Kirby. They're currently onboarding new distributors to start this fall. So now is not the time to dilly-dally or even just dilly-dally. You'll miss out on priority placement. You don't want to do that. So for more information to see if you qualify, complete the request info form at promosoapbox.com, or just if you like the email communication, send an email to info@promosoapbox.com. You're not going to be sorry you did. Now, Kirby, before we get going here, we're both wearing red shirts to support the Sleep In for Good campaign. I'm going to tilt this way so people can see it. A little Sleep In for Good, our friends over at Promo Cares. This is the week we wear our red shirts to remind everybody the importance of sleep and rest as it pertains to mental health. You want to learn more, head over to promocares.org. You can find all the information there, how to make donations and how to support this great cause. But thanks for the super comfortable shirts to our pals over at Promo Cares.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, one of the things that that they got off to a really great start when this first got announced. The social media was great, and a lot of people made donations. The goal I think they'd set was for $10,000 to raise for this cause. I think it's time to ramp it back up. So if you haven't already donated, now's a great time to do it. Learn more about it. And as a side note, I was thinking about this. This was actually one of the things I was going to bring up. Is this, they've created an amazing case study for what you can do with the power of promo and the power of social media. Participate in it so that you can then use it as a case study to show your clients how you can do this and do it right.
Yes, and they've done a great job. They've been very effusive in their praise that what we did at Brand Debate last year was kind of the inspiration for that, and they've done such a great job. So as Kirby said, please do support the cause. It's really important that you do. Let's keep that momentum going. Now let's keep the momentum going on this podcast, Kirby. So I have the upfront section this week, which means I have to talk about something promo. And since there's absolutely nothing going on in our industry, I just kind of created something. So in a few months, PPAI Expo is going to kick off in Las Vegas. There is still plans to have a live in-person event. The CDC just let out or just released a latest pandemic guidelines for events. I didn't really read them. I mean, I browsed through them, but it's common sense things. And I thought, okay, those are common sense things. What can we do as an industry to really make sure we have a safe and productive in-person event? How do we change it so it's an evolving event? I mean, no one is expecting to go back on the show floor at Mandalay Bay and having the same experience they had in 2020. No one's expecting that, right? So what changes can we make? And I made a couple notes here, and I know you have a few ideas too, but here's just a couple things. I'm going to blow through them super quick, if that's okay with you. And then anything you want to stop and talk, just say, let's chat about it. Number one, and this really has very little to do with any pandemic, go to just 2 full days of exhibits. Stop with the half day. I know that suppliers will pack up now on day 1.5. I know that. We know that. But having them out there that long and causing them to spend that much money, that much time away from their family, it's not productive time. 2 full days is plenty. 2 full days. Is plenty.
And I would, and I think to your point, I just want to jump on this because I think this is what you mean. That's additional exposure. It's also additional time when you're not sleeping properly. You're not getting the proper rest. You're not getting the proper hydration, which makes you more susceptible to being sick, it seems to me.
Yeah, we have all been on the show floor on day 3 where it's the half day and people are just loitering. They're just waiting to pack up to go. And it's just silly. Okay. Number 2, needs to be more technology integration. It's got to be some sort of hybrid model that the association can charge for people who either are unable or uncomfortable or unwilling to come to Vegas to be able to participate in that. And I am not a technology guru, as the case might be, but there's got to be a way. And I thought, how would you implement this and make it so it would be very much like a show experience? And I thought, what if in each booth there was a GoPro camera with a light attached to it, that if I sign on and I want to go see supplier, let's say I want to go see, I don't know, Hirsch Gift, that I say, I want to talk to somebody at Hirsch Gift, and I hit a button and it lights up by that camera. So it's like standing in line waiting for another conversation to finish. And someone who works at Hirsch Gift, whether it's Brittany Frise or Joshua Pospisil or whomever, can come over and get right online, put on a pair of headphones and have a conversation right from the show floor to someone in their home. There's got to be a way to do that, right? And charge for it.
Right. That's super interesting. Yeah. Well, and again, I think that they did a virtual deal. And again, I wonder if it's even, you have somebody who, you know how sometimes suppliers have suites. Yeah. Maybe that's the suite is where they end up talking to them and then they can entertain in it later or whatever.
Or maybe it's somebody sitting at the home office. My point is there's got to be a way to have those two of the hybrid component, the in-person and the virtual, run concurrently. I don't know how that works and what the most cost-effective way is, although I like my little light bulb idea. I think it's time to change the floor plan. Okay. Wider aisles, fewer booths, and more space in between. Now that would obviously impact the cost of booths. and it would impact other things. So the cost would need to align, but I think it's time to make a bigger booth so people aren't so crammed in, especially this year. I think it has to happen.
Okay. I like that. Is that what you got?
No, I've got two more.
Okay, go for it.
Outdoor events, as many things that can be done outdoors, do it outdoors. We walk down that long hallway with all the windows on the left-hand side as we go to the show floor in that fake cobblestone hallway, and the outside pool's drained every year. No one can be out there. Fine, keep the pool drained, but it's always nice outside. It's never not nice. Have as many events outside, whether it's award ceremonies, whether it's the association update that Dale will be giving this year, Dale Denham. Have as many of those things outside so we're not cooped up, all breathing the same air. And then the last one, really, I think it is time to say you have to wear a mask. I don't love getting into the whole vaccination question just because, A, those cards are not exactly hard to fake in
our industry.
Yeah. And number two, I do think there's all manner of potential HIPAA violations there. So vaccinated or not, mask up. And I think that has to be enforced. I think to make it comfortable so where everybody will go. I don't want to get in a debate with anybody about it. Sorry if you don't want to wear a mask. That's your prerogative, I guess. And again, I don't want to get into that. I think I'm wearing a mask all the time and I'm vaccinated. So that should tell you everything I feel about all that. So Kirby, those are my ideas. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think those are really good. And what I like is really that these are just looking at the event we've done in a different way. I think that's important.
It's got to evolve.
Yeah. I think the mask and vaccine thing, I mean, it's so funny. Everybody's afraid to have this conversation. It's just it's just kind of an I think we've talked about this on here. I really don't understand the pushback on the vaccine. I don't. And I've had this conversation locally and obviously nationally. We've done vaccines. Like this is, to me, that's not a big deal. The mask thing, without the vaccine mandate, I think the mask mandate, unfortunately, is going to be a necessity. That being said, every place you go, you're going to go have a cup of coffee and people are going to take it down. So the challenge of that is, I think it's a good idea. I think it's going to be hard to execute.
There's still a risk. It's going to be almost impossible to enforce, but it's something.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then this is not my idea. And I would love to attribute it. I just can't remember where I heard it.
It was me.
Yeah. The red, yellow, green bandana or whatever.
First place I saw it was Shannon the Radio, I think, posted that actually.
Yeah.
The first time I remember seeing it, but go ahead, please.
Yeah. The concept
for those who don't know.
Yeah. That essentially you put on a wristband, and if you do not want contact, you don't want to shake hands, you don't want to get a hug, maybe you wear this red wristband so people can see it. Maybe it's a red hat, whatever. Yellow is like, hey, we can do fist bumps, we can do some different stuff, but I don't want to go all in. And then the green is like, hey, hugs are welcome, and some sort of visual indicator that can help people be comfortable where they are, I think would be an interesting idea to implement. And again, in our industry, I feel like we could have some fun with that, right? Whether that's t-shirts, whether that's hats, whether, you could really
a button.
Something. So that would be my only additional thing.
I love that idea. I actually love that idea, and I'm ashamed I didn't think of it.
No, you had some good stuff there.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Kirby, okay. I think we've beaten that to death. I'd love to, if anybody has any other ideas, how do we make it safe and effective for everybody and inclusive? Whether you're going to attend or whatever a hybrid event might look like. And I do think it needs to be a hybrid event.
Yeah. And just to say it out loud, I think you agree with me, but if not, tell me. I'm excited to go. Like, I'm excited to get back to the best we can. And I think that honestly, as a marketing guy, not a healthcare guy, so I want to be clear about what I say, but I think some of these events where people really want to go to them are just additional reasons where people will go ahead and get vaccinated. Actually, I'd actually heard that I've talked to several people who are hosting events, and I won't name names, but they said, hey, when we started requiring events or vaccinations, one person backed out, but a couple other people went ahead and got vaccinated because they wanted to come. And so I think that is one of the ways that if people are like, hey, I really want to get back to my life, well, this is the way to do it. Okay. So to me, continuing with the events is one of the ways that we can continue with these events. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you're like,
Yeah,
not unsafely,
yeah.
but I think that's one of the things that changes behavior.
I'm excited to go, variant willing. And this is evolving so rapidly, you just never know what the next few weeks are going to bring. But hell yeah, I'm excited about going. I'm ready to get out and see people again and all that. So all good stuff. Awesome, Kirby. Do you have a topic you'd like to bring up?
Yeah. So I'm going to just throw this one out. This is one I saw, just it pulled it from LinkedIn this morning, is millions reach the unemployment cliff. And we don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but, ironically, over Labor Day, millions of Americans will lose out in their pandemic government benefits. And again, I think it's worth mentioning that it isn't like unemployment benefits were cut off completely. It's the additional benefits from money. The extra money. Obviously people who are against this are saying it's really abrupt and people are going to be in trouble. The other side of this is that, business owners have said, look, we're trying to compete with the government to hire employees. And so we need to cut this off. I'm not looking for you to give me, the political stance on this, but I am curious to know from a business perspective, do you think that cutting off those unemployment benefits, and when I say cutting off, just decreasing them, do you think that'll have a positive impact on our industry, lead times, things that we're struggling with right now? Do you think it will have an impact?
No, I think the stuff works. I mean, I think it might help in terms of finding employees. It might, and I'm not convinced it will. I'm not convinced it won't. Do I think it's going to impact lead times? No, because that's a supply chain issue. And I don't care who's manning a customer service desk at HIT. If they don't have the inventory, they don't have the inventory. So I don't see it as benefiting there. I think the jury's still out on, why people aren't going back to work. The easy and most logical reason, which probably makes it the right one, is that there were extra benefits and people were making about what they were making. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I disagree with the fact that people are blindsided by this. It's been a hard date since they put it out there, and they've extended
it. So it's not,
they've extended it. And I think, again, we don't know what the next twist and turn of this COVID might be. And, knock on wood, let's hope there's not another quasi shutdown of the economy. I don't think there will be, but I can't predict the future. I'm not Bill Stradamus. I'm just guessing. But I think to say, okay, we've hit a limit now. Let's see if we can get the economy rolling. And then look, if they have to do it again, they can do it again. At some point, you have to rip off the Band-Aid, folks. Yeah. And that's painful sometimes, but it's also the right thing to do for healing.
Yeah. So I think for the most part, you and I agree. I'm going to push back a little. I actually think it is going to help with lead times. I don't know that it helps overnight because let's say you're hiring people who are not, oh, hey, that's Bill and he worked here for 15 years. He's going to roll back in and be able to run a machine. But I do think that the supply chain is the number one thing. I actually think the labor crisis is a big part of it. I do. I think that, when you're talking to a tumbler supplier and it's taking them 7 days to enter an order, that just by nature of being able to just get the orders entered, that will speed things up. And I think that this, we ordered beach towels this summer and it took 8 weeks. They had the machines, they had the inventory. They did not have a person to run the machines. Will it solve the problem? Of course not. I don't mean to overstate it, but do I think it will help? I think it will.
Well, your towel example is a great piece of empirical evidence I don't have, since I'm not a distributor. I'm not a supplier. So all I hear from everybody is supply chain.
And that's number one, but I do think it will impact it, I think.
And it probably will. I just don't think it's going to be so dramatic. So your 7-day input order time might go down to 6. All right, Kirby. You're familiar with the name, image, and likeness decision by the NCAA, correct? I know you like the football, and I know you like the college football. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with the team known as the Pitt Panthers?
Yeah, absolutely. Very close.
Great. Yeah. Very close to you. Storied history. Dan Marino was a quarterback at Pitt. Tony Dorsett. A storied
Those are the
program.
two.
Yeah. Do you know who the head football coach over there is?
Is that still Wannstedt?
No, it's not Dave Wannstedt, but that's okay. So I don't know if you know this. So there's a Pitt grad, and IT businessman made a $20 million donation to the Panthers football program. Huge donation.
Okay.
And it's the largest single gift in Pitt athletics history, right? And it's going to pay for great facilities. I mean, what a wonderful thing for a graduate to do. However, Kirby, this money comes with a catch. Are you ready for this?
I don't know.
The head football coaching position is now sponsored. On every broadcast, it must be called the Chris Bickel 97 head football coach, named after the donator and his year he graduates. So the answer to the question of who is the Pitt football coach is that's the Chris Bickel 97 head football coach, Pat Narduzzi. So this got me to thinking that everything can be sponsored, Kirby. First of all, I want to get your opinion. What do you think? What do you think about the naming rights to a title, a position? I think first of all, it's a great bit this guy's doing. It's genius.
Yeah, I think that it's so bit aside, I think that naming the head coaching position is wildly stupid.
Of course it's stupid, but it's funny.
So yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but I get.
No, I'm not either. But how would you like to? Especially, can you imagine being on the Pitt broadcast team and go, "Well, there's the Chris Bickel 97 head football coach Pat Narduzzi giving a hard pep time talk for halftime," or whatever. You know, it's just funny. So it got me to thinking. I think I need to have some personal sponsorships. For some of the things I do. And I think you do too. And I don't know if you can think about these as I'm going to share 3.
Okay.
So my blog that I do every week, every Monday, is now going to be known as the Weekly Blog by Bill Petrie, fueled by Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey.
Which I think is pretty accurate too.
I think it's very accurate. If you read what I'm writing, it's very accurate.
Yeah. Any
webinar I do or any talk I do will be a Pringles Potato Crisps educational session.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last one, I do coaching calls with some clients where I'm kind of their, do business coaching. It's going to be called the Fighting Texas Aggie Band Coaching Call, brought to you by the Texas Aggie Fighting Band. Okay. So I'm not receiving any compensation yet for this. Now, do you have anything you'd like to sponsor that you do?
Oh man. I mean, I guess if you're talking,
I'm putting you on the spot.
I guess if you're talking content, then I think some sort of the Delivering Marketing Joy or Monday Minute could certainly be, I think one of the pushbacks I get is the energy thing. And so I would say that could be brought to me by Mountain Dew.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Logo JoJo.
There you go.
Logo JoJo.
There you go. That's where I was going.
Now we're talking.
You could say the Monday Minute brewed up by Logo JoJo.
Yeah.
Right?
So that would be a good one. And then I think the place where it would make the most sense, and I haven't done a vlog in a long time, but if I were to ramp the vlog back up, some sort of, sponsored content along those lines, where it could be something, whether it's local from Coshocton or if it could just be product based. I think that would be where for the stuff I do that I think could make sense. I don't like Jack Daniels, so
that's unfortunate. And I do think, it should be called the Delivering Marketing Joy PPAI CEO and President Dale Denham going forward. All right, Kirby, you got one more topic for us before we go to the game?
Yeah, this will be a super quick one. I just thought this was a really interesting statistic I read just this morning. It's that there is a gender gap in college students, and it's growing.
Okay.
So women accounted for a record 59.5% of college students at the end of 2021 school year, while men made up just 40.5%. And this year could bring even wider disparities. For the school year, women sent in 3.8 million college applications compared to men's 2.8 million. I thought that was, again, I don't want to dig too deep in because I don't know what the question is, but I thought that was a super interesting statistic. Does that, I guess my thing is, I'm like, okay, does that speak to that women just are more thorough and sending in more applications and guys just send in one? Or is it like, is this something that we're seeing a trend? Is it an anomaly? That was just fascinating to me.
I think it sounds like a great time to be my kids' age and go to college. 59% of the women. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means. It could mean that that's applications, correct? That's the number of applications.
There was,
or is that attending students?
So it's both. So the first number I gave you, 59.5%, was at the end of the year. So that was attending. And then they're saying it could grow bigger because the applications are.
I don't know. I wouldn't even, I'll joke and say, how could I possibly know that, Kirby? I have no clue what even to say here. It's an interesting statistic is one of those words that always breaks me. It's an interesting stat, as it were. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it means women value continuing education more than men. I don't know if it means the fields women are pursuing require advanced degrees more than the degrees men are pursuing. I think it's interesting. I have zero idea what that means from a data perspective.
Yeah, no, and it's an unfair question, so I apologize. But but the idea that there, we've talked that there is a gender gap in pay, and I wonder if this helps move that in a different direction. I don't know what the implications of it are, but it's really interesting. That kind of statistic is really interesting to me.
That is an interesting stat. All right, fair Kirby, enough. I think it's time for a game because I can't say statistic without super slowing down like that.
Okay, cool. All right. So we have, I think over the last 18 months or 12 months or whatever it's been, there have been plenty of things to be stressed about. But I think one of the pieces of advice I've been giving a lot lately is we need to take time to celebrate those wins, right? And I think this is what this game is about. It's a time for celebration. So you mentioned the PPAI Expo. If that happens again, that will certainly be a time for celebration. Yes,
it will. I would break out Kool and the Gang and play Celebration all week long.
Okay. So when you run into these people at PPAI Expo, at a party, at a celebration, what drink will you buy for these people?
Oh, excellent. There are no wrong answers. I guarantee you there's no wrong answers.
No, I think it'll be interesting. So we'll just start with an easy one. Okay. So let's go. I don't even have him on here, but I'm going to add him. Danny Rosen. What are you buying him?
Danny Rosen, some sort of CBD infused vodka tonic.
Okay. All right. I like that. That's a good one. Mark Graham.
Mark Graham. Oh, a nice IPA. He really, and probably a New England IPA. I think he likes IPA. He likes those hazy IPAs. Yep. And so I'm going to go with a nice hazy IPA for Dr. Marcus Graham.
Yeah, that's 2 for 2 because that's exactly what I was going to say on that one. How about Miss Mandy Rudd?
Mandy Rudd is going to be something a little lighter but fun. I think she's going to go vodka soda with just a little twist of the lime.
I gotta be honest with you. You're so good at games like this. I'd be like, they're going to have this beer and they're going to have this beer. So that's good. Love that. How about our buddy Sam Cabert out in Cali?
Sam Cabert. Well, we'll be in Nevada. So I would give him a lozenge from a dispensary.
Love it.
No drink.
Yeah, I dig it. Let's go Rich Graham.
Rich Graham? Oh, that's easy too. Shiner Bock in a bottle. He's a Texas guy. Rich will enjoy a Shiner. If I could find a Lone Star, I'd go ahead and beat him down with a good old fashioned Lone Star, but I bet the Shiner's about what I could get him.
Okay. I like it. How about Joanna Gottlieb?
Oh, that's got to be some sort of white wine. I'm going to go with something sparkling. I'm going to go with Prosecco. We're going to give Johanna Gottlieb a lovely flute of Prosecco.
Okay. How about our buddy Josh Rollins?
Oh, that's a beer all day. Actually, no. And normally I would say beer. These days, I would buy Josh a smoked old fashioned.
Okay. All right. I was going PBR, but I love it. Yeah, I think you're right. That's a good one. Let's go Rick Green.
Rick Green. Excellent. I would buy Rick. Rick's not much of a drinker.
Yep.
So I would get him something. Rick's kind of a guy who, when I think of Rick, he's like on the coast. He lives in the LA area. And I see him sipping a pina colada on the beach, having a good time.
Love the Rick Green impression too. Let's go Harvey Mackler.
Oh, Harvey Mackler. That's a finger, 2 fingers of bourbon. That's it. Okay. No ice. Neat.
Love it. All right. We're almost done. Shannon Walsh Laredo.
That's going to be a red wine, and it's going to be Fit Vine. It's a low carb wine, because if I gave her something else, she'd start asking me how many carbs and shit are in there. And I'll be like, just take the damn glass of wine and be happy that I bought it for you.
Man, you've gotten aggressive with Shannon in this game.
No, I want to respect the fact that she works out and she really takes care of herself. So if she started peppering me, if I gave her something like just a big old glass of, like, I don't know, Parmesan, that would be rude. I would get her Fit Vine. Fit Vine.
All right, final one. Our buddy Dana Zezzo.
Dana Zezzo, that's a PBR waiting to happen right there.
Now, see, it's funny. I was going to flip and give him the old fashioned, but okay.
No, he wants it. That's what he wants. What I'm buying him is the PBR.
I love that. All right, man. Nice job. You did
Actually,
a great job.
You know what? I real quick. No, Dana, Gentleman Jack Daniels and ginger ale. That's something he actually really does like. So I would get him a Gentleman Jack and ginger.
I love it. All right, man. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to have this celebration so that we can. So plus, you are going to be out like $1,000 in drinks based on.
Well,
this.
you name most of the people you named are brandvocates. So I have the little metal cards. They're legally binding. I have to buy people drinks. So thanks for nothing, Kirby. But something I am going to thank you for is the opportunity to step on a soapbox and talk about our pals at Soapbox. That's right. Brett Schaefer, Dan Piggott have really created something quite magical in the industry. There's, we always say on this podcast, there is opportunity in crisis, and boy, have those guys taken a real leap of faith and created something really magical and spectacular coming out of the pandemic in the Soapbox marketing and communications platform. If you're not familiar with it, it's an online platform that offers a streamlined and improved experience for distributors. It's that in-person hosted buying event, and it's customized and really cool. So many opportunities for distributors to really connect and have one-on-one conversations with suppliers. And as I said, I could go through the whole thing. It's manageable, it's convenient, it's simple, it's conversational, the great supplier mix I just talked about. But more than anything, it's free. It's not going to cost you as a distributor anything. Now, there are some parameters that you need to check a few boxes, but heck, if Kirby can do it, anybody can do it.
That's fair.
But they're currently onboarding some new distributors. So we'd love to get some information from you to see if you qualify. So head over to promosoapbox.com and complete the request info form, or you can just send an email to info@promosoapbox.com. Either Brett or Dan will get right back to you. But again, great platform, and
it really is
honored to be associated with those two fine gentlemen.
Yeah, it really is. When you talk about manageable, you know, I've had the opportunity to go to the larger events in person, and I love those too. But man, it's a grind for 2.5 days to be all in, and you're away from your office. This is something you can do and grow, and you can do it right from here.
Absolutely, super manageable. And now I'm going to go get myself a drink.